What's happening, everybody? Happy 4th of July. Thank you, handful of you guys that are jumping on live with us today. I know a majority of you will, watch the replay of this as we get it posted and get it shared out in the Facebook groups and also on into the Expert Mentors tool. And then I know there's a lot of you that won't even watch this. It's not sexy. It is extremely critical for your growth and continued success in the things that you're wanting to accomplish in your business and in your life. So it is a topic we're absolutely passionate about, and just wanted to give rest of the expert mentors a day off to go spend with friends and family. And so wanted to take the reins today and share something, like I said, that absolutely passionate about and understand that it's what's going to help you guys level up and take your lives to the next level. So if you haven't been tuning in to any of the Expert Mentors Weekly, man, they have been fire. And there's so much gold, so much value in these weekly trainings from the expert mentors, the badasses, and the Honey Badger Nation, the Fast Forward movement. And so make sure that you're taking advantage of these episodes that are coming out and really picking and pulling and applying into your business, into your agent attraction, into your life. It's an absolute game changer for you all. They've been incredible. Curtis crushed it last week. Mary's amazing. Kyle's amazing. Alex, Jarrett, all of them. Ro kicking things off for us in episode 1. And it's just, it's really been exciting. And we've got, already the next couple of weeks lined up for you guys. So you guys are definitely in for a treat. So make sure you're taking advantage of these trainings. For those of you that are not really, aware, I'll just give you a quick little background. I've had the opportunity to know Michael Reese for past 25 years. Him and I actually went to junior high school together. He's the connector for Kinder and I. Been riding with Kinder, ups and downs, bumps and bruises for about the last 15 years. And man, it's just really given me the vast knowledge of business marketing and leadership. I've also had the opportunity to coach and lead and mentor hundreds and hundreds of top agents across the country, and still lead our coaching and our mastermind at NAEA. Been sitting in that seat since 2012. So just a little background, nothing too crazy, but just wanted to share that with you, give you some context of background here for you. So cool. Let's jump in. I am going to share my screen with you guys. Bear with me. If you haven't noticed, got the fill-in Willie Free shirt representing Independence Day. All right. Appreciate you guys that are on live, taking some time away, friends and family, getting your learn on. All right. So I'm going to share this with you guys. Boom. All right. So topic today, self-leadership. So I'm going to run you through just some key points. Notepad, pen handy. There's a lot here. There's a lot that's going to hit you right between the eyes, and a lot that's going to make you think. And hopefully, you guys will be able to pull some great nuggets from it. So the thing is that, we have to continue to evolve and change and grow. And if we don't, then, we're going to like being irrelevant even less. Just a great quote that will definitely make you want to continue to level up. Some questions to think about. Are you dissatisfied with your results? Do you know they could be better? Are you uncertain what the problem is? The thing is, guys, is if you answer yes to any of these questions, then you are the problem. And it has to start with you, right? It's the 100-0 principle. It's absolute responsibility for your feelings, your thoughts, your actions. And the thing with the 100-0 principle is that even if your team doesn't realize that they were the problem, you're the problem, because you could have done a better job at training and educating in the system and the process for them to learn. So it always comes back to you. What could I be doing differently? Companies get in trouble. What happens? Fire the CEO. The team starts losing. They fire the head coach, right? I mean, it's the Toronto Raptors had the best season in franchise history. They can't make it through the playoffs. They can't get through LeBron. Fire the coach. Okay. And something to really think about. And when you look at the problems that you're having in business, there are no business problems. There are only leadership problems. Everything can be distilled back down to a leadership problem that causes the business problem to occur. Okay. There are no business problems, only leadership problems. And before you guys can truly and honestly, at your best, lead others, you have to be able to lead yourself. And, it just doesn't work any other way. A couple questions to think about. Would you follow you? Are you building and designing an organization, a company that you would want your children to work in? And it's yes or no, right? It's black and white. It's not maybe. It's either yes or no. And you have to come to grips with that and not just be kind of halfway in. So self-leadership. People fail in leadership because they have not spent the time leading themselves. Okay. And it really distills down into that. In Jim Collins' book, Beyond Entrepreneurship, chapter 1's on leadership. And that's the quote. That's what he talks about. And, really it's just not spending enough time doing the things to get themselves successful. One of the main skills to develop, and it's kind of a hot topic. And, for those of you that follow Gary Vee, we hear emotional intelligence. And you really want to just break it down to the simplest of forms. Emotional intelligence is just really, self-awareness, right? Self-awareness of your strengths, your weaknesses, and, being honest with yourself. What the hell are you good at? And what are you not? Understanding your emotions, what triggers you off, right? What are you not aware of? And so it's just it's a fundamental skill that really needs awareness, and then action taken on that awareness to continue to grow and improve. There's tons of fascinating, reads and books with the science behind it out there. Some emotional intelligence 2.0, sitting with the neighbor across the street last night, and we were talking about this same thing. So definitely spend some time and focus and really hone in that self-awareness for yourself, being absolutely honest with themselves. We look at honesty. It's one of our values. Personally, it's one of our family core values as well. And what we teach with our kids is that honesty is transparency. So being transparent, being honest with yourself, and something that we all understand, and some, we even touch on and talk about, core value. I live with integrity. I do what I say I'm going to do. I keep the promises. Well, what about personal integrity? What about keeping the promises you make to yourself? A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't. They're so focused on the others and this facade that they're not being real. They're not being honest with themselves. Another key skill, another thing to really have a great awareness of, if you're really wanting to maximize your potential and take your life to the next level, is living in alignment to your core values. So first off, you got to know what your core values are. There's a great exercise if you go to Darren Hardy's The Compound Effect, and you go to his website, I think it is thecompoundeffect.com, and to his free resources. There's a download on core values. And what Darren will have you do is distill it down to the 3 values that you value the most, right? That are you to the core. Now, there's aspirational values that you aspire to, and those are great as well. But really getting down to what is core to you, okay? And this was a great exercise that will help you, identifying. First off, guys, your personal core values are the same as your values in your business. You can add some aspirational to your business, but for the most part, they're one and the same. You are your business. and so you want to be able to be wherever you can be. And it starts with your values. In that same book from Jim Collins, Beyond Entrepreneurship, chapter 2 is on vision. And he defines vision as purpose, mission, and values. But it all starts with values. From your values comes your purpose, and then we align the mission that we're on, that we're going to accomplish. And so getting clear on what your values are and living in alignment to it. Here's why it's important. Because we put off this energy from our body that is either a positive energy or a negative energy. And where it starts is that when we're not living in alignment to our values. Women have a bullshit detector that is intuition. Us guys, we can pick up on it as well, but not just just as well as women can. And what that is that they can identify when somebody's not being their true self, when they're not living in alignment to who they truly are. And so it's absolutely critical, guys, if you want to build trust in your team as you continue to grow, you have to be authentic. The best definition of trust is authenticity, being vulnerable, being in alignment to your values, times time equals trust. And for you to be able to be the best leader that you possibly can, it has to start with these things, okay? We talked on the 100-0 principle, being absolutely honest with yourself, being transparent, taking extreme ownership in everything. What could I have done differently in every situation? Okay. So there's a great book, 100-0 principle book, super short read. I recommend you guys getting it and, really understanding what that principle is and really identifying and taking ownership. And really it is your responsibility, 100-0, for your feelings, for your thoughts, for your actions, because that's what drives your results. And so you are 100% responsible for those things. And self-leadership is all that matters. If this is broken, nothing else matters. You can have a great vision. You can articulate and repeat and reinforce better than anybody on the planet. But if your self-leadership is broken, all that other stuff is out the window. It does not matter. Got to get Biggie Smalls in there, right? We can't change the world until we change ourselves. Just a great quote. So number one rule of leadership, leading by example. Are you being the best you that you can be, right? Are you being the example that you want to instill in your team, in your family? I always like to relate it back to the kiddos because it's the same within your team, okay? Yeah, they're not, give your team some credit, right? You're growing them as leaders as well, but you got to lead by example before you can grow them. And so I always like to share just some thoughts around the lead by example. And are you representing? So for those of you that have little girls, or for those of you that little boys, either way, for us men, are we demonstrating the behavior that we want to instill in our kids that they see for the relationships that we want for them to have in the future, right? Are we modeling the behavior and example that we want our kiddos to carry on in relationships in the future? When you have to stop and think about that, it puts things in perspective. And it applies with your spouse. Are you demonstrating the behavior to your kids that you want them to have with their kids? And it's the same thing with your team, and it really carries over, right? Are you treating them like shit? Because I guarantee you, then they're going to be treating your clients like shit. So always remember leading by example. And example is not the main thing in influencing others. It is the only thing. And you can preach a better sermon with your life than with your lips. Another thing to keep in mind is that you are always on stage as a leader, even more so now, right? With social media and just the absolute transparency that's going on in all of our lives. And I love it because it's pushing all the fakes, all the bullshitters. It's getting all that shit out, right? So live true. The spotlight is always on you, right? They're always watching. Take it back to the kiddos, right? They might not listen to everything you say, but they are watching everything you do. And that's the same for your team. That's the same for the agents in the marketplace that you're trying to attract. And it's either you're a leading by example, you're being somebody that they want to align with, right? They're the people that you want to spend time with, right? And so just remember that eyeballs are always on. You're always on stage as a leader, and just making sure you're being true to yourself and really living by example. You have to become, so we talk about this, right? The things that we want to achieve and who do we have to become in the process. The thing that I've seen the most, personally witnessed, and had mentioned that I have had the opportunity to coach for Jay and Michael since 2012, and somewhere almost over 9,000 coaching calls. And so I've had this unique opportunity and experience to look inside of so many businesses and people, and there are no business problems. There's only leadership problems. And those that I've seen that have been the most successful, and the things that have worked for me and our team, is that the person you have to become to be the best version of yourself is the most disciplined, the most positive, and the most consistent person out there. The thing with discipline, guys, is discipline is commitment. And commitment is black and white. What are you committing to? You got to get clear what you're committing to. Are you committed? Yes or no? That's discipline. Staying disciplined, staying positive, cutting that negative shit out, positivity, and being the most consistent person in your activities that drive the results that you want. Consistent in your feelings, consistent in your thoughts, consistent in your actions, okay? In every equity of life. In every equity of life. I mean, you can go your, faith, finance, fun, body, being, balance, business, whatever buckets, right? Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, whatever buckets that align for you, but be disciplined, be positive, and be consistent. That's who you have to become to level up and take your life to the next level. And it's personal transformation. It's just becoming the best version of yourself each and every day, striving to be better, right? Even if it's just 1%, be better. Independence Day, holiday stuff, I always like to do something just to kind of push myself, and, no different this morning, training for Ironman later this year. And so wanted to get my little mini triathlon on this morning, and, 60 minutes in the pool, 60 minutes on the bike, 60-minute run. And, they weren't my best times today, but I learned a lot. And what I identified will help me be better next time out, right? Allowing me to become the best version of myself each and every day. That's your personal transformation. And so for things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. And for things to improve, you have to improve. Mr. Jim Rohn. It's just an absolute great quote, great reminder for all of us. Joe Polish, this quote is really, it's so spot on. And life is hard if you live it the easy way. And life is easy if you live it the hard way. And doing hard shit, right, each and every day makes life a lot easier. It's a long game, fellas, ladies. And, there is a great exercise that gentleman did for us at our last mastermind. And he put things into perspective with our life, expectancy. I think it's 78 or 79 for the guys now. It's 80, 81 for women. And, so he gave us these yardsticks. And he said, okay, guys, 79, rip it off, right? 79 to 100, rip it off. And that's bonus time. Anytime past bonus, we're living on borrowed time. And he said, okay, go to your age, rip that off. He said, get rid of the 0 to whatever your age. So 0 to 41 for me. He said, that shit's gone. That's gone. This is what you got left, right? You've got from 41 to 79. What the hell are you going to do with it, right? And so doing hard shit allows you to get the most out of life over that long period of time. And if you eat terrible, don't exercise, don't read, watch the news, do all of that stuff, the easy stuff that's coming at you, then life's going to be hard for you down the road. But if you're disciplined and you stay consistent with the physical, exercise, eating, everything that's hard, reading, busting your butt while you're at work, being present, then it's going to be a lot easier road for you in the future. And, it's extremely important for you guys to get this. Your health is your wealth. What if you make it to the mountaintop, but reach it sick? What's the point? What if you crush agent attraction and you're making $100,000 a month, but you're dying, you're sick? What's the point? What do you spend all that money instead of, adding value to others, accomplishing, bucket list items. We call it the fucket list. Sorry. It is, that's our bucket. We don't have a bucket list. We have a fucket list. And so being able to accomplish those things or spending it all on medical, your choice. So some things to get serious about. Food. If you really want to perform at the absolute best, we got to make sure that we're eating like a world-class athlete. It's hard. It is hard to do that. Okay. But if you're really serious about taking your life to the next level, then this is something to really hone in and pay attention to. Other exercise, make it easy, be consistent. Darren Hardy's like, if it's easier to stay in shape than to always trying to get in shape. Be consistent, join an accountability group. We have a daily accountability group that we post in and hold each other accountable. Great group on Facebook. Get in there. Be consistent. Make those posts. Hold yourself accountable. And it's a bonus if you can make it fun, but you don't have to like it. You don't have to like it. Like, I hated that workout this morning, but I know what I'm trying to accomplish. So that is the drive, right? And so I just love this Muhammad Ali quote. I hated every early morning workout, but I like being world champion. I love it. Sleep. We all say, well, I will sleep when I am dead. How much do I really need? And it's funny. I'm, was always of the belief, 4.5, 5, whatever. For me, it could be different for everybody. I know I perform at the best when it's between 6.5 and 7. And so I think you have to identify what is best for you. Huffington, she wrote a great book on sleep. There's so much science and everything behind it. I know Gary Vee had her on a couple of podcasts and just dissecting it and talking about it. And so there's some science and there's some studies out there. I've got a app on my phone that will actually measure it's called Sleep Cycle. And it, I said it gives me statistics. It's, what we measure, we can improve. And so I've noticed since I've been measuring it for the last 90 days or so, my sleep has gotten so much better. And it's important for me to be able to perform at the highest level with the training commitment for an Ironman, as well as the commitment to all of our coaching clients and our masterminds and the agent attraction opportunity and, my wife and my kids, that I've got to be able to perform at the top level. And sleep is really important. It's something that really has to be dialed in if you really want to perform at your absolute best. I'm going to give you a mental model here that has really served us tremendously well. It is from MMA legend Frank Shamrock. And this is from his school. And so all of his students coming into his school have to go by the plus, minus, and equal mental model. And, mental models are just frameworks that allow you to think through situations. Charles Munger is probably the best. And if you want to study mental models, you can study Charles Munger, and, it'll really help you out tremendously. But this mental model, the plus, minus, and equal, is that, so when you come in to Frank's school, you have to find somebody that you look up to, right? That is multiple belts ahead of you. That's your plus. Okay. You might roll with them, talk to them, pay attention to them, study them. That's your plus. Your minus is somebody that's below you, that you can help, that you can mentor, that you can train, that you can guide. And your equal is somebody that's right there with you, that you're rolling with, that's pushing you and, to be better each and every day. And we need this in all areas of our lives. We need a plus, we need a minus, and we need an equal. We need in all those buckets, right? And so find somebody that you can mentor from or hire as a coach to be your plus. Find somebody that's where you were. There may be a year, 2, 3 years behind you, starting out. Take them under your wing, mentor them. That's your minus. And then your equal is somebody that's right where you're at, trying to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish, that is going to hold you accountable and continue to push you and push you and push you. So that's your plus, minus, and equal. And when tough times hit, get a coach. A coach is going to get you to do the stuff you need to do. And the coach is, and a lot of coaching too, guys, is a lot of we need to be reminded more than we need to be told. So a coach is great at helping remind you, getting you to do the things and keeping you accountable to the habits and the disciplines that really get you the results. Coach will reveal blind spots. It'll help you keep the train on the tracks when it gets a little wobbly. And so when you get to a point, it gets tough, man, get a coach in any and all areas of life. It's been the cool thing working with our mastermind clients, because it's not always just business, right? There's other shit that goes on that we have to deal with in all equity. And usually what happens is that when we don't know how to make sure that, we're taking care of the things daily in all of those areas of our lives that continue our growth. And so many people get so fixated on their business that their personal life goes to shit, right? So, or they focus so much that they're about to go through a divorce. They focus so much on their wife or their significant other that, their business goes to shit. So guys, you don't have to do it alone, right? When things get tough, get a coach. I love this Elizabeth Gilbert quote. And this is, it's really about being the best you that you can be, right? And she, we all have this golden rule, right? Is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But her platinum rule is even higher. It's just don't be a dick. And simple rule, just live by that. You'll be good. And, I've shared this quote. This is something that I look at each and every day. This is on my personal strategic plan. And I highly recommend you that if you don't, we all have these business plans, our strategic plan. You work with us at NAEA, if you're a coaching client, mastermind member, we help you with your strategic plan. And I highly recommend you that you have a personal strategic plan for you in taking your life to the next level. And this is a quote that's on my personal strategic plan that I look at every day. And, someone's definition of hell is on your last day on earth, the person you became will meet the person you could have become. And, that's the challenge. Are you disciplined? Are you positive? Surrounding yourself with positivity? Are you consistent and clear on who you need to become? So when this day comes for you, for me, it's a direct reflection. That's what I want to see. I don't want to leave anything on the table. And honestly, I don't believe any of you guys do either. So that's definitely the constant reminder. Cool. So bring this back up here. So cool. Here's what I'll do for you guys. I know that there's only about a handful of you on. And again, I appreciate you guys taking the time from friends and family here on the 4th of July. And what I'll do for you guys, there's only a handful. I see who you are. If for any of you that are interested in I'll set aside 30, 45 minutes, free consultation on a personal strategic plan for you if you're interested. If you are, just drop me a comment when this video gets posted. If you're interested in that, we'll connect, set some time up, and walk you through your own personal strategic plan. Make sure that you've got things in for you to really take your life to the whole nother level. So I appreciate you guys very much for jumping on. And for those of you that are listening to the recording, man, drop what was your biggest takeaway, your biggest nugget. I appreciate it. Sweet. So Jim's in. Gotcha. So I will definitely reach out, Jim, and we'll set up a call. But for all of you guys, I appreciate you. Man, have a happy 4th, and make sure you stay tuned to Expert Mentors Weekly, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks, guys.